Is there a concept of time during Chibut Hakever?
Time, even the physicists have discovered that time depends on matter, meaning it depends on physicality. Where there's no physicality, where there's no material, there's no time. There cannot be an aspect of time, because time is dependent on something physical. So in the spiritual world, whether it be Chibut Hakever, Gehenom, Gan Eden, or even in your dreams, there's no concept of time. And that's actually one of the ways that Hashem allowed us to understand the concept of time, or timelessness, which is you can have a dream where that dream feels like 1,000 years. Sometimes people have these dreams, and many times they're not good dreams, where they feel like they're being tortured. They're in a desert somewhere, or they're being beat up for hundreds of years. And they wake up eventually, sweating bullets, and they feel like they've been gone out of this world for 1,000 years, and they look at the clock, 5 minutes have passed. How is that possible? They remember 1,000 years worth of information. But they have 5 minutes have passed in this world. Why? Because in this world, 5 minutes have passed. In the spiritual world, in the dream world, there's no time. So, but of course, Hashem does keep a clock, if you will, for a person's sentence. Meaning that if a person is decreed, let's say, 50 years or 500 years or whatever it is to in punishment, then that's in essence what it is. But in that time, it's a very famous story by the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov once went into the woods, and he saw an enormous toad, huge, like a turtle, but huge, enormous. And he saw this toad. Looked at it, and he had Ruach HaKodesh, and he started speaking to the toad, because he knew there's a neshama inside there. And he said, "Who are you?" He says, "I am being punished. I'm being punished for 500 years already. 500 years I'm being punished, reincarnated into animals for 500 years already." So the Baal Shem Tov says, "For what?" He says, "I didn't honor the mitzvah of Netilat Yadayim. I dishonored it. It made it seem like it's, you don't have to do it. 500 years. It's being reincarnated. Now, we're not talking about he just didn't wash his hands one time. That's why he's getting 500 years worth of punishment. We're talking about somebody just takes a mitzvah and says, this one I'm not doing. The Rambam says, if you say, listen, I know this is a mitzvah in the Torah. I know this is a mitzvah, Aleph Bet, I know this is a mitzvah, but it's not for me. That is a serious, serious crime against Hashem. We're not talking about you know it's a mitzvah and you just failed at succeeding at it. You failed. You tried, you failed. Or you didn't even try, but you're saying, listen, I know it's true. I know you're supposed to cover your hair. I just can't get myself to do it. I know you're supposed to eat, kosher, but, sometimes I give in and I eat, McDonald's. I know you're supposed to do it. I just fail sometimes. That's a normal person that unfortunately failed. We're not talking about that person. We're talking about a person that knows this is a mitzvah, and he says, I know it's a mitzvah, I'm just not gonna do it. It's not for me. As if he just took a mitzvah out of the Torah. This mitzvah is for everybody else, not for me. That, Rabotai, is a very, very serious crime in the Torah. The Rambam writes very strong things against such a person. And the Baal Shem Tov story says such a person that did that, had that type of an attitude towards the mitzvah of Netilat Yadayim. It's a famous story, I didn't make it up. Famous story, Netilat Yadayim, he was being reincarnated in animals for 500 years. Why? Because you have to understand, these things sound enormous to you. And it's because, again, you're limited to body. You're limited to your perspective as a human being. Hashem is not a human being or the likeness of a human being. He doesn't have those limitations. So when I describe to you all the good that you're going to get for coming to this shiur, all the good that you're going to get for learning Torah, all the good that you're going to get for keeping Shabbat, all the good you're going to get for being modest, all the good you're going to get for any mitzvah that you do, I describe it to you how? By taking all of the good that ever existed for every single human being in one shot times infinity. And you are happy about that. Why? Because even though you have no idea what I just said, because it's too big to imagine, you had no problem accepting it. Why? Because it's good. It's unlimited. So that's good then. All right. Problem is, the same thing on the opposite end. Just like the good is infinite, incomprehensible, so is the punishment. The punishment is not comprehensible to a human being because it's that big. So that's why a person needs to do everything possible to sanctify themselves. If the punishment wasn't as bad, if the punishment was just simply, if it was really 1 year in Gehenom, like some of these kofrim say, oh yeah, the biggest criminals, yeah, they only go to 1 year of Gehenom, then they go to Gan Eden. Like Manis Friedman and company, and the rest of the Reshaim that decided to create a new Torah. If the punishment for the crimes was only 1 year in Gehenom, I would quit right now. I'm going back to Wall Street. If the worst punishment is 1 year in Gehenom, I'm quitting right now. Let everybody do whatever they want. Why? Because the worst thing you get is 1 year in Gehenom. Good luck. Okay, it's going to be a really bad year. 1 year? Rabotai, I sacrifice my life. You have no idea how much I suffer every day. You have no idea how difficult people are. You have no idea what I have to deal with every single day to survive. I do this only because I know it's not 1 year. That's it. That's the reason I do. I do because I know it's not 1 year. The punishment is not 1 year. And I know that if I don't do it, no one else is going to do it. Because no one else is doing it. The exception of Rabbi Mizrahi, that's it, finished. That's it. You have nobody else pretty much that is really, really going at it, that people explain to them reward and punishment on a massive scale. There's a couple of decent rabbis out there, Rabbi Zitron, Rabbi Elon Nava, a few others out there, but the reality is, Rabotai, most people still do not know what reward and punishment is. Most people still believe the falsehood, the fakeness, that, oh, it's not such a big deal. I know it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. And the truth is that if you look at all of the Sfarim, you look at all the books, what they say, it's even worse than I explained. So the point being is that a person needs to do everything possible to sanctify themselves, to get themselves to a place of holiness, and have to try hard. And yes, you're going to fail, and you're going to mess up, but get yourself back up and try even harder. Just like you would try harder in everything else in life, try harder with this. And get other people to do it. Because again, if you don't help the people in the world, you're going to be a miserable, happy person. Why? Because you're going to get, let's say, all the rewards for your good, but you're going to see that none of your friends, none of your loved ones, none of your own nation has gotten it. What do you want to be in Gan Eden by yourself? Sounds more like Gehenom. Why would you want to be by yourself? You want your father to be there? Don't you want your mother to be there? Don't you want your sister, your brother, your cousin, your aunt, another Jew? Even the Goyim. Why you don't want them to be? You want all of them to die and suffer? Why? They're Hashem's creation also. If a person understood what the punishment is, immediately, number one on priority list is to help Klal Yisrael, to help the world do tshuva. Number one, more important than anything else. They continue making money, they continue working, they continue doing everything they do. But everything that they're doing always has somehow connected to Kiruv, connected to helping people get closer to Hashem. Because they know that people do not know that they're eating and drinking poison every day. They're ruining their life in this world, they're ruining their life in the next world. So, it's the punishment is dear, but most people simply don't know it. When you know it, you understand that you have to do something about it.